can see PF come. There's PF. Good morning. I can't see you, but I know you're there. Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Gina.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm stuffing my face. How are you?
I'm sopping wet hair. That's how I am.
Yeah, I'm well, thank you.
Awesome sauce. Morning, Breeze.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you, PF?
She asked how you were. Could you hear her? PF,
Oh, how are you, PF?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. How are you,
How are you?
Brianna?
Good. How are you, Gina?
Stopping wet. All good.
You look nice and clean.
I am very nice and clean, and later on I'll be nice, clean, and curly. So right now I'm nice, clean, and foggy as heck. Whatever. Morning, Kathy.
Good morning.
Happy
Hey,
not
Kathy.
telling anybody belated birthday.
Thank you.
So
Happy birthday.
yeah, this is my favorite thing. So everybody else remembered your birthday yesterday, right?
A few people did, yes.
Okay, but we love you still today.
Well, I think that's really good because it falls in line with my daughter. She says that it's a birthday month.
Oh
so
yeah,
you get to
Jubilee.
celebrate the whole month.
Mhm.
I never have, so I mean, I as I'm getting, I have more and more birthdays. I may just go ahead and celebrate the whole month.
I love birthday month. In my family, if you got, my mom was pretty lackadaisical. Christmas hit on time, so she did that one right. But birthdays, it could be, you could get your presents. You could get a present here, a present 3 weeks later, present as long as it was sometime in that month. My mom considered it as not late, and so we just always got used to, well, your birthday will happen whenever your birthday happens. Who knows?
Well, that sounds like it works. I got to change the way I get on this call because the link that I have makes me sit there and spin. I've been, it's not just today, but several days been out there zooming around in a circle waiting to be let in. And so
well,
anyway.
I let everybody in usually at 8:30. So you might be zooming out there and I don't even know because I'm prepping for class or like I have an accountability call. So I don't turn it on till 8:30. So it might be me, not you.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. All right. I'll let that be.
All right. I think you're good. I really do.
Okay.
It's 8:34:47, which means it's officially 8:30 realtor time. So realtor time. Wow, I can't believe I did a 3-syllable one. So let's get going. I don't even know how to start this. Let me see. I've been studying a little bit with another group on Jim Rohn's Good to Great. Have you guys ever read this book?
Oh,
No, but I know it's supposed to be a good one.
It's a really good one, and I'm really, really liking it. And it's been, Bree, you're coming back in again, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to log off my phone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm like, hey, Bree's coming in. So Jim Rohn studied the companies that were good and then the companies that were great. And he came up with good is the enemy of great. And then he started looking at what companies were great and what was the common core. And so he just analyzed company after company after company. And these ran the gamut. These were companies that failed and then had to relaunch, companies that were great, that built up to that great. So he just looked at what is the common core. And at the common core, they all have this one simple concept. And this very simple concept that they sort of identified as this thing is what we do went out to everywhere, and everybody understood this very simple core. This is what we do. It's a very, very simple core, and it drove every decision that they made. And as we've been studying this, it also brought to mind another book by Ray Dalio called Principles, which if you haven't heard of that one is another very good one. It's Good to Great. Almost everybody knows Principles. Ray Dalio, he's one of the most successful stock commodity dealers ever. The man's brilliant, and he's predicted real market trend, stockwise, economic market trend after economic market trend after economic market trend. He built some of the first computer systems that way back when computers were these big clunky things that you put punch cards in. He developed computer systems that would look at things like weather patterns, so it could determine what corn would do that year. So he knew whether he should buy or sell a ton of corn or not. And it was just like one of the things that he would analyze, and he would analyze all these different factors. And he set up a book, or he set up a concept called principles. And so I said, why do we make the decisions that we make? And again, he set very simple principles in place. This is what we do. And we follow this simple core of principles for every decision we make. Again, good to great, every decision we make. Part of good to great starts off with a very simple Venn diagram. And that Venn diagram, let me share my screen, looks like this. So it's what you're good at, what you love to do, what the world will pay for, what is economically feasible, and then where they all meet is a sweet spot. So I want to go through one of these today. I want to go through the what you love to do one. I'm going to charge you guys with the what you're good at on that side. And then next week, we will work on what the world needs and would pay for. And the reason why I want to do it that direction is because when I have sat down, I'm going to drop this one off. I'm going to stop the share. When I have set people down over coaching throughout the years, and I have said, what do you like? What is your message to the world? And people are like, and if I'm like, what are you really good? What are you good at? Not necessarily what do you like to do? Like, I am very good at accounting. I hate accounting. I'm good at it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I can't tell you how much I hate it. I'm good at it. I'm good at cleaning a house. I hate it, but I can do it. You know what I mean? I'm not so good at doing dishes. There's a ton of stuff I'm really, really good at. So it doesn't matter whether I like it or not for that other column. And I can usually get people on that one. They can just write down a whole list. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. But when I move into what is your message to the world, I find people can't answer it. So I've had to learn to reframe it. So I kind of want to go through some of that today, and then we'll dig into a little bit of that. Sound like a plan? Let's dig. Okay, so if I ask you, no, I'm going to back up. I ran across two interesting concepts before I had this conversation. I went through this conversation with the group yesterday. It was really interesting. And the two things that I ran across earlier in the week, which dovetailed into this beautifully, was a quote by Steve Jobs first. And Steve Jobs says, when we look at a problem, he said, the whole world looks at problems. And let's say this is 100% of the time spent on the problem. It's an hour, let's say, 100% of the time. He said they will spend 5 minutes on what the problem is, and the other 95% of the time they will spend on the solution. And he goes, that is, and it's what I do too. Identify the problem. What are we going to do? Right. And I have been really trying to figure out how to rewire this to think differently. And it was ever since Gary and I went to Orlando, and I talked to you guys about the guy. Remember the Stanford class that was given $5, 2 hours, and then they had so there was a Stanford class. I'll fill in this really quickly. They divided it into 4 groups, and they gave they gave everybody $5. And so then they put the people in these 4 groups, and they said, what you need to do is you need to take your $5 as a group. You need to figure out something to make money. And then you're going to get 2 hours to do that. And then when you come back, you're going to share your idea. Someone's going to share the idea for 6 minutes in front of the class, and then the best idea wins. And so the first group went out and they pooled their money. They did a lemonade stand, did a little bit of money, presented their idea. Second group went out and they did a car wash, pooled their money together, did a car wash, brought it back, made a little bit more money, talked to the class. Third group went out and said, the $5 is a red herring. It doesn't matter. The thing that's really, really important about this is that we have 2 hours. And so they time blocked all of the reservations for lunch and business dinners in the business district of San Francisco. And they blocked everything out, and then they sold those back to the companies because nobody could get a reservation. So they did their idea because they said $5, 2 hours is the value. But they still didn't win. the last group said the $5 is a red herring, the 2 hours is a red herring. The most valuable part of this entire thing is 6 minutes in front of the Stanford class. And so what they did is they contacted all of the companies that recruited directly out of Stanford, and they sold the 6 minutes to be able to talk and present in front of the whole Stanford graduating class that year. That's what they did. So when I ran across that concept, which was Father's Day in Orlando, that is what made me start to on this path of I want to learn to think differently. And I want to understand and problem solve on a high level. Hey, Kay and Liz. So out of that came, how do you
Oh,
situation?
sorry, it took me a second to get it.
Okay. Yeah, it's the 6 minutes.
It's the 6 minutes and not the $5.
It's not the $5. It's not, everyone thinks the $5 is the problem. That's spending 5 minutes thinking about what is the problem. We got to make money. We got $5. But that's not really what the problem is. The problem really is you must have the best idea and present it back to the class. And what is the best idea? What is that? And so I started analyzing it. So Steve Jobs said you spend 95% of the time thinking about what the problem is, and only 5% of the time on the answer. I was like, that's flipping brilliant. And then my husband and I were watching, there's a new documentary about ILM, George Lucas's Industrial Light and Magic, which he had to basically invent and build to put together the very first Star Wars movie back that came out in 83, I think. My husband will know the exact date. I do not know that. Okay. Anyway, so he had to put together this group. So we cobbled together this group to do special effects from engineers, early computer people, people who made stop motion photography. He just put together this group of ragtag pirates and said, we need to make it look like a real world with spaceships flying through space, the stuff that had never been done before. And so go do it. And he would go to people and he'd go, I want it to do this. And they would say, it can't be done, because conventionally up to that point, it couldn't. I mean, literally we had, if you look at like the old King Kong movies, it was that kind of thing. And they're like, it can't be done. And he would go, just think about it. And then he would walk away. And the group that was an engineer and a construction builder and a this and a that would get together and they're like, well, how are we going to do this? And then they would come up with an answer. But the key to the whole thing is just think about it. Because if we go around saying it can't be done, it shuts us down immediately. But if you just think about it, well, then how are we going to do it? Then it unlocks everything in your brain and you start thinking differently. So I told you that story to tell you this story, or to tell you this. If I ask you, what is your message to the world? Usually it shuts people down. I don't know. I know little bits and pieces. But if I say, what do you already know about your message to the world, I can start to unlock things. So what I thought would be kind of cool to do is just go through the passion part and of the Venn circles, which by the way, I'll share. So Kay and Liz have some sort of framework for what we're talking about. We're talking about good to great, Jim Rohn, what you're good at, what you love to do, your passion, things that you're good at, you might not like, but you're good at them, what the world will pay for, what's economically feasible. So today we're going to focus in on what you love to do, what you're passionate about. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go around and share. I'll share mine first, just to lay the framework and let PF swallow. And then we'll go through. You're fine, sweetie. You do whatever. And then we'll go through and you can share if you want to, and we'll just kind of go through like one at a time. You don't have to, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to. So I came up with cheating. And the reason why I'll start is because I came up with mine yesterday, is the things that I'm very, very, very much passionate about are people, relationships, conversations. If we go out with somebody 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, my husband's like, do you remember so-and-so? We went to this restaurant, we did that. I'm like, no, I don't remember. And then I'll go, what did we talk about? And he said, oh, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like right there. Oh yeah, I remember. And I remember all of it. So I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about building businesses, coaching, growth. I love all that. I love that stuff. That lights me up. Leading, speaking, listening, learning, all that kind of stuff. But if you go down underneath that, I love puzzles and games. I mean, I love them. I'm a complete geek on puzzles and games. And my husband's like, those are for people that are socially inept. And I'm like, sign me up. My kids feel the same way. Whatever, we love them. And what if you go underneath that, I really like creating beauty and something out of nothing. And I like that in my surroundings, in gardening, in writing and art and business and real estate. I love creating something out of nothing like that. I like startups and launches, like that stuff just like really lights me up. You take all of that and you throw in sunshine and coffee, like I'm your girl. That's exactly who I am, and what I'm very, very passionate about are those things. Okay. Who would anyone like to share next? What you're really, really passionate about, what you really, really love.
I'll go.
Do it.
So I love taking things or people and finding out what makes them tick and what I can add value to, and then seeing that it works.
Tell me that again. Give me that again. You like seeing people and what
And finding out what makes them tick.
And then plussing that.
Yes. Like, what do I have that can help them move forward? And then when it all comes together, that's exciting for me. So
I totally see that in you. I can completely see that too. You're always plussing and adding value, and you also listen really well to really hear what people are really talking about. And I know this because I've gotten the pleasure of spending like one-on-one time with Bree in Nashville. Oh, hang on, where were we? Charlotte.
Charlotte.
We were someplace. Yeah. I can see that about you. That's cool. Thank you.
And we're I like organizing. I hate dishes.
You do like organizing.
Yeah. But like I did little things yesterday, like wash the baseboard. And so my kids love it. Like they were like, oh, they came home and they noticed it. So we're turning that into a family challenge. And so we're going to keep the house the way it is now. And whoever does it the best will get like $50.
Wow. Nice.
But they took pride in it. And that's going to motivate me because I'm one of the biggest culprits for the messiness.
We always joke, my house is clean, but I will train wreck a desk.
Yes. If I showed you my desk.
Yeah. No, the camera's up here. Although I have shared my desk on occasion, but
that's going to keep me accountable, keep them accountable, and feel like we're all part of it.
I love that. And again, that's plussing and togethering. It's organizing. It's adding to what people already love. So I can see all that in you. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Thank you.
Who's next?
It ain't me because I can't think.
That's okay.
And I have a really, really hard time about all of this kind of thing. And I know kind of where it goes back to, but it's I know that I can't stand injustice. I'm passionate about that. I know I love gardening. I know I love helping people, but as far as putting and baking, I mean, there's lots of stuff I love, but putting things together and saying, I'm really, really good at this. And
well, we're not working on that one now.
Okay. And giving me value doesn't work.
You're fine. You're just in the place of what you really, really good at. I completely agree with you in gardening, and it fills your soul. And I've seen that in you a ton. And baking too. What'd you do? You made like muffins or cookies or something the other day before we even met. And it was early.
Well, that was because I don't like waste either. Bananas were about to go.
I love that. That the French do more stuff with bread that's on the edge of going than anybody I've ever met in my entire life, and it's all good. It's all good.
And
So,
that's a good trait, Kathy, because I, on the other hand, would like have a funeral for my bananas.
Well, I can feed them to the garden and be okay with that too.
See, there you go,
Compost.
resourceful.
yeah, yeah. So I love that about you, Kathy, and I love the social justice thing too. I think that's something my business partner cared about that, Linda Warren, like immensely, and she was always boggled. She's like, "You don't care," and I'm like, and it sounds horrible, but she does, and you do too, and it's such an admirable trait and wonderful. My husband's justice also. He's not as much social justice; he's overall justice. Like
Yeah, I think it's more like that.
the wrong. He really does. It's such a wonderful trait in a human being. It really is.
Because like a liar and a thief are right up there with, I can't stand.
Yeah, don't go in politics.
No, not going there.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
even religion.
Yeah. All right. So who else has something that they're passionate or that they're open to sharing?
Well, this is Kay. This is very hard for me too, so I can relate to what Kathy's doing. What I do love to do is start new things. I love startups. I love turnarounds. I love making something from nothing. I like projects. I like fixing old things. I hate to throw things away. If I think there's a potential use, I will keep things stacked up forever in order to give them to somebody else that can use them so they don't go to waste. I love results. I need to see results. If I don't see results, then I shut down. I love to create things. I like cleaning when I'm upset or when I'm working things out. I usually clean.
When you're upset next, can you come to Nashville?
I don't do it often. I mean, I just, I'll like pick up the kids' rooms or I'll organize a drawer or I'll whatever. I just cleaned up my office and it's already a wreck again, but I at least have file folders now and I can see things. And I got rid of 2 tall stacks that were like a foot high, but they're not there anymore. Now I have lots of low stacks. I'm big about fairness and equity. It really bothers me if I feel like somebody's been unfair or somebody's taking advantage of somebody. Oh, that just shoots me up the wall. And I love beautiful things. I love beautiful yards. I love beautiful things in my house. I love beautiful, unique jewelry. I love to go searching out for those little treasures. I mean, I don't know beyond that. Those are things that I love, that I enjoy, that bring me joy. But I love to, I like, renovating things and I hang on to stuff because I don't want to throw it away because I think somebody can use it. I don't know how to put that together.
That's okay. I love that. And you gave me like, if you hadn't shared this, I wouldn't have thought or remembered or realized how much I like results also. I love results. So thank you for that. Really, thank you for that. And the other one that I love that I have also that Kathy, you mentioned also is not throwing stuff away. I save stuff. I'm so grateful that my darling daughter moved up here close to me because she needs a ton of stuff. And so I just have a big box. It's right. Well, hang on. There's a bag there. There's a box back there of stuff because we're going to go see her on Saturday. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can have this and you can have this and I love it. And when I don't have somebody near me, I'm like, I just got to stack it up and I got to do a Goodwill run at some point because I just can't. I'd rather it go to anybody who could use it than a landfill, Kathy just had creativity in all things. I love it. I hear you too. I love an artist of any type. Someone who's good at their craft.
Yeah.
I personally, if you ask me what the sexiest thing on planet Earth is, it is somebody who's competent in anything. I don't care what it is. Competence to me is like the ultimate wow.
Now that touched off a button in me because competence is exceedingly important. And like Kathy, you know, I love craftsmanship. I love furniture that has carved, ornate stuff that I could never imagine how to do. I love embroidered things that are creativity. I love, you know, anything that's unusual or different.
Even things like architecture is just a wow.
Mhm.
You know, you go and you look at stained glass work in buildings. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Does anyone, PF or Liz, do either one of you want to share? I just saw Liz come off mute. You want to share, darling?
Yes, please. Good morning,
Yes.
everyone. I'm gonna echo a lot of the sentiments that have already been said. I am big on social justice, which is why I think I have an issue with living in DC. I'm big on social justice. I'm big on an individual basis, helping people kind of look at things differently or understand their own potential, like that it's in them, and they just they're glossing over it. Slowing down and just understanding more about who they are, what they bring to the table, which is why I think I've loved my higher ed students and all that work for all those years and continue to do in the real estate space. I'm passionate about leaving a good footprint behind for the community of the greater good. So I'm always thinking about how my actions impacts others in a certain space, but also how it impacts the greater community. And I love to organize. It's crazy, but I could organize space all day long. I don't like cleaning it so much, but I could organize space all day long, and I feel happiness when I'm organizing.
I invite all of you to Nashville. I invite all of you to Nashville.
Honestly, I had a part-time job for some time just doing the back stock rooms of Williams-Sonoma and Pottery Barn, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. And to the creativity piece, this is a muscle I would love to build, but I, like others have said on the call, enjoy the creations of others in the art, the theater, the music. Architecture has always been something that is like kind of sung to me. I wish I had that skill, but appreciate that others do. And I try to, you know, foster that when I see that all the time, especially in my son over here. But yeah, those are my happy places.
I love that. And again, I can affirm and echo the social justice, the organizing, those gifts in you. I see those coming through in how you work and what you do too. So that's a cool thing. Thanks, Liz.
Yeah. So I love noticing patterns. I tried one of my skills, and I work on it all the time, is to see what else is there. Noticing coincidences, because there's not really a coincidence, but it's kind of like, what made that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And where is it going to go?
Mm-hmm.
I also love science and technology. I always been passionate about that. I wished I was an astronaut, or that I worked in NASA when I was a little kid. There was this show called with Leonard Nimoy on TV, In Search of.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. You were wow, go on.
So that was my favorite show as a kid, and when I was back in Dominican Republic, I was like, because a lot of things that were happening were like at MIT.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I want to go to MIT. I want to be one of those people. Now I live a mile and a half away from MIT.
Ah, that is cool.
And a whole bunch of my friends are MIT graduates or related to MIT somehow. So I also, like Kay and Kathy have said, I also love results.
Mm-hmm.
And very much like Kay, I also shut down when I don't get results. So I also love imagination. I love being around people who are very imaginative. Again, is part of that noticing patterns things. And I'm also passionate about opportunities. It's about creating the opportunities for others and for myself. It's kind of like, just give me the chance, whether I do anything with it or not. Just give me the chance. Give me the opportunity. It's not. Don't assume that I'm not going to do it. Don't assume I'm going to do it. Just give me the opportunity. I'm also good at gardening, which it took some time to develop, but it was like a challenge. And one of my challenges in life, the motto that I live by, I guess, is leave it behind better than I found it. So wherever I go, I make an effort to contribute something that is going to improve the situation. So that when I'm not there, the place was better off. So, yeah, thank you.
Way to bring it home, PF. That is awesome. The creating opportunities part in particular, I love that. The pattern, I forgot about that in me too. I know, Kathy, you've got some good news. Let's go there, and then I'm going to bring it home, and then I have to jump on a stupid phone call to go schedule right after this. So, but give me your good news, because then I want to bring this home. PF, I could have brought it home better. If I literally had fed you lines. Kathy, what's good news, honey?
I just wanted to say that I got that small contract agreed on yesterday for land. And there's some stuff that I would have probably liked to go through. I'll figure all that out. But that's how I started. Well, I found that out about 7:00 at night, actually. And then it was 10:00 at night, and I was on the phone with this lady who I've been talking to about a referral, basically. And she has had to sell her house through probate. There was no will when her husband died. She's in a mess. There's a son from a previous marriage or union. I don't even know if they're married, but he gets 2/3 of the estate just because he exists, and there was no will. And so she's a mess. She hasn't taken the steps she needs to move, and she has to be out in a week. And because the house is sold, it's under contract. About 2 weeks ago, she had got her bank account hacked into, so all her money got drained. And just all these things have happened. So she sent me this message and I thought she was saying that I'd stole her money and didn't do anything. And so I called her back, and she fussed because it said that my mailbox is full. I don't know what to do about that, but I need to figure it out. Anyway, I was on the phone with her for over an hour, probably about an hour and a half, just going, this is what I hear what you say. First, you've got to find a place to live, whether it's a hotel room, a long-term Airbnb, or something to give you time to think, because she still has a job where she's at. She wants to leave and move to South Carolina, but she's waited until the last minute for all this stuff to happen. And so she just feels lost. And I know part of that is because she's grieving and she doesn't want to let go of the last thing that was her husband, the house. Mm-hmm. So we spent a whole bunch of time talking, and she put a list together of, this is what I've got to do. I got to find a place to put my head down that's safe and clean for a little while, and then figure out whether I'm going to rent here it's down by Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia, whether she's going to rent there until she can find a place in South Carolina and a job in South Carolina and make that transition. But we talked for a good while trying to Say, these are the things that I'm hearing you want to do. These are the steps you need to do. Write it down so you can see it. And that's kind of how I ended up my night.
Your birthday. There's
Yeah,
some
my
things
birthday.
in the chat box of some help. Kay said delete your voicemails. There
Furnished
Bree
finding.
said look into furnishedfindings.com, so look into that also. Also, I would get on the horn and find out if you can delay the day she moves out by a couple days, maybe. I don't know if that's going to be an option or not. But see if you can extend that out 3 days or something to get her a little bit of time. If it gets down to where you don't think she can do it, I wouldn't tell her that.
I don't know how I can do that because I don't know any of that information, and I'm
Oh,
not
she's
involved
not-
with the contract. No. This is a lead
right.
that I got from
Gotcha.
the Facebook thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're not involved at all in this contract?
No,
And how do you know her?
from Facebook.
Okay.
From the things that Braden put up.
Okay, so that's the only connection with you is well,
Yeah.
all right.
She's a potential referral. That's all she is.
Okay, for a deal where?
She
The
wants to move to
Facebook
South
lead-
Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, right, but you're not licensed in South Carolina.
That's why it's a referral.
Okay. Oh. So you'll get referral money off of it,
Potentially.
potentially. Okay, gotcha. I was
Kathy,
involved in this? Okay, go on.
Kathy, sorry, really quickly, just see
Yeah.
if there's any extended stay hotel type.
And that was the other thing, as I said, bet Airbnb or if you have to, a hotel, and try
Furnished
to work.
Finder is what a lot of travel nurses and execs use, and you can use it for 1 month to a year. And it's places that are all over the US that are already furnished that people are renting out.
Okay, cool.
Perfect, yeah.
I'll
Furnished
share-
Finder.
I'll share that with her. She's been looking at Zillow and and gave somebody $29, and I think that's probably who hacked into her account.
Yeah.
Probably, and she's not
It
gonna
is.
find anything quick on Zillow. If she goes to
No.
the extended stay hotels, she could probably walk in and find something like
Right then.
within a week for 30 days minimum.
Yeah, and
And
that's
set
kind
her
of
up.
what I said, Liz.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. I thank you for the website.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not, I mean, I know it's a potential referral. I don't know how. I would probably try and help and give her some resources. This sounds so callous and awful. It
It
sounds
could
like,
be awful.
pardon me?
It could be something where I can get set up. Is that what you're going to say?
No,
Taking
no, no, no.
advantage of.
Taken advantage of because she sounds like, I don't know how to say it nicely. She sounds like a train wreck that lets her life get out of control and people come in and rescue her, and that's what it sounds like. But she also obviously has been taken advantage if she's trusting people with the $29 to get her place hacked. And I don't really know because I'm not out there with it. You've got the communication. I don't. So I probably would point her some directions and see what I can do to help her. And then I might contact the agent on whoever's got her listing. I might see if I can contact the agent on the other side and get some feedback from that agent and say, this is kind of what's going on. I don't know if you're aware of it, but she's really gotten a rough time. You might want to help her with some stuff also to
Yeah, I don't think, I have a feeling based on what she said last night that she probably can't extend the stay because this is court ordered basically. Because of the probate,
oh God.
Yeah. She's just got to get her head around. I mean, she's got stuff moved out and things like that. I think pretty good from what she said. She's just got to get her head around. This is happening. I have to do this.
You have to, which sucks sometimes.
I think that's probably what it is more. I could be wrong. I could be guessing.
Better.com is a therapy website.
Okay.
That's
And
good.
they do telehealth all over the country.
That's good too.
Better.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that'll help her.
Okay.
Just to talk to a professional.
That's really good advice, because Lord knows I'm not one of those.
Yeah, and so the other piece, like I said, is she's got to not only find a house in South Carolina where she wants to move, she's got to find a place to be for now, and she needs to find a job in South Carolina to move also. So she's got
How
a
old
lot
is
of,
she?
huh?
How old is she?
Got me. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm never good at that. I could look and I couldn't guess how old you are. I'm the one that asked.
You can, if you got the lead from Facebook, you can go back to her Facebook profile.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm asking that is because there's a big difference if this person's, I mean, she's got a son, so she's not 20. But if they're 20, 45, or 75, and if someone's, you know what I mean? If someone's 45 and your life's train wrecking that bad, I'm probably going to go, what the hey? You know, I'm sorry, you got to get your stuff together. Because that's an age where, minus other stuff, you need to be carrying the rocks that are on your back. That's just what life looks like. But at 75 or 20, you know, you're running at both ends of maybe the rocks are too big at that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why because the first thing, and I know this sounds so callous and awful, and I don't know how to say it, but the first thing is my radars are going up all over the place. So who are you? Why is your life in this kind of a mess? What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just does. And that doesn't mean I don't want to help people. I really do want to help people. I also I'm not interested in helping somebody who is 40 years old and doesn't ever lift a stupid finger because they don't care about their life, apparently, and they just want me to come in and rescue them. I really have no interest in rescuing somebody.
They got to want to help themselves.
Well, yeah. But I also get, because there's rocks, and we are to carry our own rocks. And that's just everyday life stuff. You know, that's just rocks. But there's also boulders, and boulders come out of the sky through no fault of your own and smash the shit out of your life. And we are to help other people with the boulders. That's part of what we're supposed to do. You got to go, PF?
No, they were waving at my son.
Oh, gotcha. Missed that. Sorry, I was over here. And we're to help people with their boulders. And so I guess the easiest way to try and relay what I'm trying to go is this a boulder or rocks? And then once I determine that in a person's life, that determines, you know, am I going to drop everything and help the socks off of you? Or am I really not? Am I really going to point you some directions and then watch and see if you're going to actually take it and run with it or do something with it?
Yeah,
So,
and I kind of think the boulder is what happened, and I'm still trying to point some things to her because I can't fix it.
nope. If it's a boulder, I get it. Then I would help. Like
Her husband died.
Yeah, that's a big boulder. It really is. I get it. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
I will
Okay.
let you go. Thank you.
I want to circle back around really quickly. I so got energy talking about and listening to your passions, and it, regardless of whatever we discover, that gives me tons of energy and tons of I don't know. It makes me high in a way. It really does. That this is what you guys are really passionate about. And this is what, you know, like, yeah. And it's because you guys share, and I get to be blessed off of the gift of that. So thank you. And it allows me to give a mirror to be able to see me back again and go, oh yeah, that and that and that. So thank you for that. Very much. Thank you for that. Yeah. All right. So
Thank you.
your home.
Kathy, the website is betterhealth.com.
BetterHelp.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So your homework, you guys know what you're passionate about, is what you're good at. Not necessarily what you like, just what you're good at. That's your homework. You now
What
have
we're good at.
what you're good at, regardless of whether you like it or not. Just what you're good at. There are things that you're good at. Do not be humble. There's something out there. If you want to bounce it off other people, bounce it off other people. Sometimes it's other people can see things that you're good at that you can't see. And that happens in my life a lot also.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Kathy, prayers for her. Lots of them.
Yep. Have
Yep.
a good one, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
everyone.
weekend, y'all.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye.